as we enter this time of Lent, these 40 days of prayer and penance and sacrifice and almsgiving, it really is a time for us to open our hearts wider to God's love, and letting God's love really enter us in a very special way. I was talking to one of the children at another school, and in fact it was a family member, now that I think about it. One of my Micronaut, it's not a great niece or nephew. It would be, yes, it is great niece or nephew, come to think of it. Anyway, the story goes like this. They had a toy, and their brother was playing with that toy. So they came down to complain about the brother having the toy. You recognize this story, kids? Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, we're invited to share with one another. So every time you want to take the toy away from your brother, say a Hail Mary. 20 minutes later, the little guy comes back and he says, I just finished a rosary. It is a time for us to share God's love. And we do that in a lot of ways. Almsgiving is helping the poor, giving the poor a special gift or donation, whatever it is. Today the collection is for the church at Eastern Europe. The prayer we do is really meant to be prayer that touches our lives. So even though my little great nephew was struggling, with his brother, it still was a moment to let God's love be shared with his brother. And the same with his brother to him, both ways. It's the same for you in the classroom, and for us adults, it's the same in our work, in our families, wherever it is. And that prayer is meant to really create a space for us to let God in, to let God touch our lives in a new way, in a fresh way. Part of it is about conversion, in other words, changing, becoming more like Jesus in our lives as we share with one another. So, as we do our prayer and our penance and our fasting, all of that is really meant to bring us closer to Christ and let Christ into our lives. To the adults, this is really a time for us, as we're signed with the ashes, it really is a moment for us to let the love of God truly touch us. And that sign of those ashes are not magic. They're simply a statement by us that these 40 days we enter into a special relationship with God. We prepare our hearts to receive Jesus in a new way, in a fresh way, in a special way. And if there's anything in our lives that really needs to be changed, that's what this is about. And all of the prayer or penance or sacrifice we do is really meant for that. The Holy Father has asked us, by the way, to have as a special intention, stop gossip. Stop gossip. And so I encourage you, that Hail Mary that little one was saying for his brother, anytime you're tempted to do a gossip moment, say a Hail Mary. Once you get through the rosary that day, you're going to be in great shape. Okay? Be in great shape. So all of this in the end is about preparing us to receive Jesus risen from the dead. That's really what it's about. That we come to know that he's given his life for us on the cross, and that we come to know that he loves us that much that he wants us to share life eternal with him. In the end, that's the path that the ashes set for us, to give us direction. So together, kids, with the adults, all the prayer we do this week and throughout the next 40 days, all the penance, all the sacrifice, all the gifts we give to the poor, all of that is meant to call us to grow closer to Jesus. So let's pray for that grace during this Eucharist. We'll have the giving of the ashes, and the ashes are already blessed, but I think I'm going to go ahead and bless them again for the sign for the kids. So if we can do that.